So my name's Lee Sear, and my job and what I normally do, I call myself a career strategist, and I work with people who are in the middle of their careers and they go, I can't keep doing this anymore. So I tend to work with managers and senior executives who are wanting to change industries, or they're wanting to pivot, or they're wanting to leave corporate and become an entrepreneur, or they are an entrepreneur and they want to move back into corporate. And the work that I do comes from my experience, because that's what I did. 12 years ago, I realized I was in a corporate job and I just didn't want to be in this job. I wanted to do something different, but I didn't know where to start because I was in the middle of my career and I didn't want to go all the way down to the beginning and start again. So I career strategize myself, and my process is just a three-part process. And the first stage is know yourself, which is who are you at work? What do you do at work? You're a software developer, but how do you develop software? Software development. Who do you interact with? What are the things that form part of your career identity that make you unique and special? The second part of my process is what I call project yourself, and it's about how are you communicating with the world? Because visibility creates opportunities and consistency builds trust. So now that you know what you want to do, who's going to find you in the world? And project yourself is all about career collateral. And career collateral is CV, online reputation management, LinkedIn profile, and when you Google yourself, what comes up? Branding. And then the last stage of my process is connect yourself, which is who do you know who's got you to where you are now, the people that you've studied with, the people that have taught you, your mentors, and who do you now need to know to get you to the next stage of your career. So it's a three-part process, and it's strategic. I don't call myself a coach because it comes from my experience, and it's also combined with mindset and action step. Now that we know this, what are we going to do with this? Where are we going to create something or get some results for you? And generally, I work with people who have some level of friction within their career. The friction could be internal. They just don't want to do this job anymore. They've been doing it for 15 years or maybe 10 years or 20 years, and they want to change and do something else. Or the friction could be external. The company retrenches them, or there's a change of leadership and they don't enjoy the work that the company wants them to do. So it's about working with that friction and then getting them to think some big ideas, big imagination, because big ideas start small, and then taking them through the process of know yourself, project yourself, connect yourself. So that's essentially what I do, and I absolutely love LinkedIn. I have a very good relationship with LinkedIn because my business wouldn't be where it was if it weren't for LinkedIn. And what I'm going to show you today in 90 minutes, and I want it to be a working session. I don't want to teach you and stand here. I want you to hear and implement so that we work through it together. I'm going to take you through what I normally teach in 3 separate workshops. I'm going to take you through how to use this profile, how to use LinkedIn as a massive visibility machine. Because it is that. It's so much more than just a social media platform. Why do I like LinkedIn so much? What's so important about LinkedIn? There's 3 very important things that you must know about LinkedIn. Number 1, if you Google your name and you have a LinkedIn profile and you just Google your name, the first thing that comes up is your LinkedIn profile, because nobody can beat the search engine optimization of this platform that has 1 billion users around the world. So if you don't have an optimized platform, but you've created an account, a recruiter engages with you outside of LinkedIn, and then they Google you because everyone Googles you. The first thing that comes up is your LinkedIn profile, and they're not going to see all the great things. So LinkedIn really is an opportunity for you to use this as your personal brand website. I've looked at some of the Workato candidates, and I know that you've created portfolio websites and you've created About Me pages, but LinkedIn is that powerful. There's so much that you can put on it. So that's the first thing. I'm saying to people in the corporate world who are saying to me, I've just been retrenched, I've got a bit of money, I don't want to go into another corporate job, I've got this great idea and I want to become an entrepreneur and I need a website. I'm saying to them, no, you don't. You need a good, optimized LinkedIn profile. So if you were to start out offering a service, all you need is your LinkedIn profile. So search engine optimization is super cool. The other thing about LinkedIn is that you can find anybody on LinkedIn. Most people don't understand the search filters and the complexity of it because it's overwhelming. But you can literally find and connect with anybody around the world. You can find the people who created some of the software programs that you've learned and that you've worked in. You can connect with a South African who's an advanced software developer in Silicon Valley. And I'm going to teach you how. So it's amazing that you can use search filters and be specifically targeted to go to who exactly you need to find without even knowing who they are. So that's the second thing that's super powerful and super important. And then the third thing is that you can see who's looked at your profile. I know Twitter is amazing. Saku is a Twitter fan, and I know Instagram is amazing, but none of those social media platforms show you who's looked at your profile. Imagine Facebook, I don't know, who's Instagram and Twitter or Facebook, if you could see who's looked at your profile. Yes, you have to have the premium version to be able to get your full set of 90-day history, but if you're using it properly and you know how to use it, you can see who's looking at your profile and you can send them a message. So there's a whole bunch of complexities there, but I also know that LinkedIn is overwhelming. And a lot of people, I deal with a lot of people who've got great looking profiles, they've outsourced them to somebody else to set up for them, and they're like, I don't really get the point of LinkedIn. I find it quite overwhelming. So what I hope to do today is take you through some key steps that's going to increase your visibility. So from this afternoon, your DMs are starting to get a little bit busy and you're starting to connect with great people. And what I hope today is to really challenge you to start using LinkedIn as your primary contact management system. Because the one thing about LinkedIn is that it is entirely algorithm-based. It is an algorithmic machine. What I mean by that is if you send a message to somebody, or if you comment on someone's post, or if you use the search filter and look for a certain title, you're programming LinkedIn to know what's important for you. And everything that you do on LinkedIn then starts to work for you. Does that make sense? Okay. So is everybody logged into their LinkedIn profiles? Nearly getting there. Okay, you're working very fast. That's great. I'm going to carry on and talk about how I normally teach LinkedIn, because there's 3 key components to LinkedIn. And I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but you're going to get resources, but you're only going to get resources from me on LinkedIn. So you'll get workbooks, you'll get cheat sheets, you'll get all of that if you do the things that I'm going to teach you to do. So there's a little bit of incentive here. So the 3 key areas of LinkedIn are, number 1, how do you look? Profile optimization. And how do you look is not just looking good on your profile, it's also the privacy settings and the back side of LinkedIn, the sort of back engine of LinkedIn. But profile optimization is using absolutely everything that LinkedIn gives you to really populate it. Second part of LinkedIn, so think of how do you look as one operating area, okay? Second operating area of LinkedIn is who are you connected to? Now, LinkedIn is a community-based platform. LinkedIn loves community. LinkedIn does everything it can to create community. And all of you have got community outside of LinkedIn through your internships, through capacity, through the people that you know just sitting in this room. So who you connected to is a really exciting strategy where we can find the people that we want to meet. So you can find somebody who is not only just hiring, but in a role 2 or 3 years ahead of you, and you can reach out to them and say, how did you get this position? I've just completed an internship. I'm looking for opportunities. So who you connected to is a specific operating area. And then the third and last operating area of LinkedIn is, what are you saying? And your communication strategy, I'm going to show you, there's 3 ways that you can communicate on LinkedIn. The first way is by creating your own content, which is sharing a post. Sharing a post, which could be a photo, a video, a long form article, it could be sharing anything. It's like creating content. Sharing a post is the one way of communicating. The second way of communicating on LinkedIn is commenting on somebody else's content. But not just a reaction, a like, and not just a nice post, but a thought leadership long form comment. So more than 2 or 3 words where you say, you tag the author and you say, hey, Elon, nice company that you've developed with Workatoa programs and so forth. I've recently completed my internship and I'm interested to follow you. You can go and comment on anybody's posts on LinkedIn. Cyril Ramaphosa's on LinkedIn. You can tag him in a post and say, when are you going to put your commitment to job upliftment and creating training for South Africa's youth? So commenting is a huge opportunity for you to be seen within people who you want to connect with on LinkedIn. Commenting is a big strategy. It takes time and effort to think about what you're going to create, what you're going to post. But you can go and comment on anyone else's post. And then the third way of communicating on LinkedIn is in the DMs or the messaging. And the thing about the DMs is that nobody can see that. That's where it's just between you and the person that you're messaging. But everybody, you need to be connected to somebody to send them a message. And recruiters and hiring managers and senior level people all get dozens of DMs daily. So if you send a message to somebody in the DMs, you want to appear to be not necessarily bombarding them. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that. So those are the 3 different areas. We're going to go through rapid fire strategy to cover each of these operating areas, primarily to make sure that your visibility is set and people can find you. How does that sound? Does anybody have any questions before we jump into things? And you can ask me anything. No question is too small, no question is too weird. I am here primarily to serve you and help you. It's fantastic that I get this opportunity to do this because I don't normally get to interact with people like you who've recently qualified in your internships and you're ready to go, and it's a thing that I'm excited about. So you can ask any questions and you can interrupt and ask questions because I want it to work for you. Okay? You had a question, yeah?
Okay, I think when you started the presentation, you mentioned something about the 2 frictions, the internal one and the external. So let's say if you are someone that is not entirely new on LinkedIn, but you keep on applying on LinkedIn and then getting rejections,
yes,
and then you started to lose hope on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Does that qualify as external friction or the internal one?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both, and let's face it, being a job seeker right now in this time is tough and it's hard, and I know that. But the thing about LinkedIn is that, yes, you've got to apply for roles and send your CV, and then there's rejections and everything, but there's lots of other people that might be applying for those roles. But I'm going to show you how you can use your time strategically so you're not just applying for a role and hearing nothing, that you're developing connections and contact. Because remember at the beginning I told you what my process is, the know yourself, project yourself, connect yourself. The one thing that we have control over, and I say this all the time, whether I'm speaking here with you guys or I'm speaking to somebody who's an executive or a manager and looking to change their career, the one thing we have control of in our career is the people that we know and the people that we continue to form relationships with. So if you got an opportunity in an organization and a company, the first thing that you would do would learn about the role and what you have to do. But the second thing would be to connect with the people, the team leaders, the senior executives, the clients, the whole ecosystem of people within that organization. Just like you've connected here with everyone at Capacity. So we can control, and it's up to us to continue to grow our connections. Nowadays, people at my clients aren't finding their new careers through the recruiter. They're finding their careers from somebody that they know, somebody that they've connected with. And you'll be amazed at how, if you have a really good looking LinkedIn profile, and you've got recommendations and all the things in place, if you reach out and connect to somebody who's doing the role that you want, but they're, say, 3 or 5 years ahead of you, so they're a little bit more senior, but they've got a permanent role in a company that you're interested in. And if you reach out to them and say, I've recently got my qualifications, all my badges, I'm ready to work, and I'm so excited, I'm following you, and I'm looking forward to supporting you here on LinkedIn, how that engagement can convert to them actually wanting to help you. And you've never met them. They could be in Johannesburg, they could be in Dubai, but they're a South African. Does that answer your question? A little bit of both. Okay, let's get into it. So I think what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to do some clicking through my profile to show you things. So can you see my mouse? Yes, it's working. Okay, so this thing that's moving at the back is because I've got a premium account and it allows me to do that. I've looked at a lot of great Workato candidates, and I'm sure some of you might have been here. You had these interesting background images that included your names, and I think that's wonderful. But I'd love you to create that background image with more than just your name, because we can see your name right here. So use this image, this background image, to expose more about you. Put something like your favorite quote, or what you've learned, or what you're aspiring to do. You can make it a little bit more dynamic. It's a key piece of LinkedIn retail space. Just having your name, I think, is falling short of perhaps really maximizing it. Does that make sense? Okay, next thing that's very important is you'll see here your LinkedIn URL. I want you all to click on the little pencil next to your background image there. Wi-Fi is very slow. Okay, there we go. So actually, I don't want to go there. Sorry, I'm going to go here. Underneath your profile, there's a little thing that says contact info. Click on the contact info, that blue highlighted link. Why is the Wi-Fi so slow? It's taking some time. Hey. Okay, there we go. So here is your profile URL. This is very important that you customize that and you take away anything. LinkedIn give you that profile URL and it has numbers on it. You're going to customize that just to be your name. Now you want your name and your surname. This is the URL that will be boosted in your search engine optimization if somebody Googles you. So it must be your name and surname. And you want it to match a really cool personal brand email that you get. Gmail is a fantastic email provider. So all of you create a Gmail address that's name.surname. The Gmail address, you could add something behind it like dev or IT, or you could add an acronym of a course that you've completed for your Gmail address, but create a good personal brand Gmail address that's associated with your profile, that you connect to your profile. Don't have one that people can't see and understand with their name. And it has to be the same name that you then list on your CV. So you can't be, for example, Tato N Skokoza on LinkedIn, and then your CV is Tato Ntabili Dlamini Skokoza, and then your LinkedIn, then your Gmail address is Ntato Skoz. Somebody's going to look at that and go, who is this? I want Tato and Skokoza. It's got to be the same thing. So consistency builds trust, and it's really important. And customizing your URL, you just click on that little pencil, and it opens up to the customized URL, and then you can put your name. If you can't get your name and surname, there it is there. I've put career strategist because that's using my branding name to expand that. But if you can't get your name and surname, then put a middle name or initial, but it's got to match your CV, okay? Next thing that's very important about contact information is everybody put your cell phone number in the +27 dialing tone. And actually, I'm going to put some space between it. Putting your cell phone number on your LinkedIn profile means that the right people can find you. I've called mine work, but you can call yours mobile. And then in your address, you don't have to put your physical address, but you're going to put your location of where you're based. So put Cape Town, South Africa. And you can also say, like I have done, working across the globe. So you could put Cape Town, South Africa, or Cape Town, Joburg, with a little hyphen between it, of different places that you could go. Putting your birthday just means that you're going to get a whole lot of birthday messages, but it's nice, so populate that. And then I'm going to just show you what this looks like. The website, you're never going to put a company website in the contact info, because all that's going to do is use that valuable space to lead you to a company. Some of you that I looked at your profiles, that when I used Workato as the filter, I found that you'd created personal, like About Me pages, which is great. LinkedIn will only let you point to one website 3 times, but it has the functionality of having 7 different websites. It's a huge search engine optimization to be able to have a branded website or portfolio here. So in the time that you're waiting to find work, without having to spend too much money, what would it take for you to create a portfolio online? I'm sure that you would have covered this in your internship, and some of you have been able to do that. So optimize it and put it there, but then make sure that that portfolio talks about everything that your LinkedIn profile doesn't. Does that make sense? Okay, any questions about this contact info while we're in this page now? So this basically is your business card. This is your business card, and it's important to look really good and to have a branded, personal brand Gmail address that connects to the name, that your LinkedIn is customized, and you've got your number and you talk about where you are. On that Gmail address, what I'd love for you to do is add your LinkedIn URL. So copy that entire customized URL, and you're going to add it to your Gmail address as an auto signature. So you change your email address in privacy and settings. And it's good to have 2 email addresses on LinkedIn. You can have your old one and then your new personal brand Gmail address that you're creating now. You're going to add that as your primary, and then you've got a secondary, just in case you get logged out of your LinkedIn profile, or there's some kind of situation with not being able to access one Gmail address over the other. Okay. Profile photo is really important. You want it to be a photograph of you that absolutely looks. Was there a question? No? Okay. Profile photo, you want it to be a photograph that looks like you. You want to look completely like you, and it's got to be new, and it's got to be modern, and it's got to be update with you looking straight at the camera. Don't be cool on LinkedIn. You want to be clear. You want to have a good photograph of you. You can zoom in. You've got different filters that you can use, that you can optimize the photo, but you really want it to be exactly you. Taking a photograph with your phone and putting it on there is fantastic. There is a really good app called Canva. Are you familiar with Canva? And on the free version, you can upload that profile photo and remove the background. Which means if you take a photograph that has a strange background, you can remove it and put any background there. Profile photo is seriously important, as it would be anywhere else, but this is a professional profile photo, which is important. And then we've spoken about that contact info, which is key. And then the next thing on the sort of top part of your profile is your headline. And really the best formula for a headline is keyword rich. You want to put in your headline the type of opportunities that you'd be looking for. So you want to pack it with, you can use the word future software developer. You can use the word aspiring. You can use, if you're not in the role right now, but you want to use the keywords of the role that you want. And you want to put absolutely as much as you can in there. A nice formula for a headline is what your skills, your qualification, your experiences, and the type of role that you're looking for. And then you could say something at the end that refers a little bit to you. So, collaborative team leader, or strong communication, or aspiring public speaker, something like that. But your headline you really want to populate. You get 120 characters. A character in a LinkedIn headline is an emoji, a space, and a letter, and a punctuation. And 120 is quite a lot. You've got 3 whole lines there, so you can really pack it with a lot of stuff. The next thing about profile optimization is the job search section. Now, I'm sure that you've all got the open to work option populated. So let's click there, click on the little pencil and open up your open to work thing. Now, I have my open to work populated because if somebody's searching for a mentor, guest speaker, influencer, career consultant, or a guest lecturer, I want to be found for that. So you can populate 5 different roles that you want in this section. Make sure that you do. Definitely optimize it for hybrid, remote, and on-site. And for remote, put all of the different continents of the world. You can work from Cape Town remotely in the United Kingdom, European Union, UAE, United States. You can even just put Africa. You can put EMEA. So open up your job search settings to everything so that you've got all of the locations. Definitely click immediately. You want to be immediately actively applying. You don't need to populate this because this just limits you. Keep these open. You want all of this, so you don't want to keep these completely open. And then obviously you're going to have your green badge open to work on, and it's going to be for all LinkedIn members. Now, a recruiter on LinkedIn means somebody who has purchased a recruiter license. It's not somebody who's just got the title recruiter. And somebody who's purchased a recruiter license on LinkedIn is a recruiter who's actively looking for opportunities and for talent and for hiring. So if you chose not to put the open to work badge on your profile, you would still be very visible to the right people. The open to work badge is an important badge though, but it really just says that any contact you're going to make is primarily driven by the need to find work. So for example, some of the clients that I work with who are actively looking for work don't put their open to work badge because they're using the DM strategy to connect with people, and they don't want those people to think, oh, they're just reaching out to me because they're looking for a job. Does that make sense? But you must have your open to work profile populated. It only really would change in the instance that you've then got a job, but you're looking for another job and you don't want your current employers to know. Any questions from the top part of LinkedIn story? No, okay. And then let's go to the pencil that I showed you to go to. So that opens up where you can put your name, your first name, where you can include an additional name. So if you have a name, if you can't get your URL in name, surname, and you need to use an additional name, that's what you can populate there. Now this pronunciation, audio recording, is a really great hack that LinkedIn offer primarily from the mobile phone app. So you must get LinkedIn on your mobile phone, and you can create on the phone app the ability to leave a voice recorded message. They created this to allow people who have beautifully unusual names to say, this is how you pronounce my name. But you can use that on the phone app to say something more. So have a look at my LinkedIn profile when you're looking at it on the phone app, and if you click on that, you'll hear me say something. And I use it, I say, my name's Licia Dewing, I'm a career strategist. I sneak in my elevator pitch. It's around a 3-minute audio recording, but you can say a little bit more. But it's really great to have that populated. Okay, so there's your headline. Industry is important, that you're going to click software or development or IT, or industry is very important that you've got the right one, because that's a search that comes up. Obviously, your location will pull through from that, and then that's the premium thing. So these are all really important tweaks that you must have populated on your profile. The next thing is you want to create services. So on the services section, if you go to the top of your profile, you'll have the open to work, and then you'll also have the option to add a service. Can you see that? Wi-Fi's, okay, we'll pause while Wi-Fi catches up. But what you're going to do, it's super slow. Super slow, but that's fine. Okay, I looked at your profile. Did you see me looking at you?
No.
Okay, so go to notifications and profile views there. I looked at your profile because I found you, not because I know you, but because I searched under that Workato title. So now what you can do is click on my profile, and you want to send me a message and say, I see you looked at my profile. Were you looking to hire a software development? Because that's what I'm interested in. You can immediately do that. Okay, who's managed to catch up and stay on training, or are you still? Okay, all right. We'll keep going and see where you're at. There we go, you're sending a message, good. I think I'm going to keep going, and you guys will sort of carry along and catch up. Okay, so services section is visible in the open to work section, but it allows you to then populate the services that you offer. And I definitely think that you could use that now. You're looking for a job, but you also want to populate services, because services means that you could do something temporary or part-time or what have you. So you want to get the services section populated. Is everyone following me on what I mean by services section? Okay, good. Then another important thing about your profile is the about section. And this is just where you want to talk about yourself, but it's keyword rich. So you want to pack in the same thing that you used in your headline, in your about section, and you want to make it really easy for people to contact you. So you want to have a call to action. I'm available immediately. Reach out. I'm keen to do this. I work best in. You want to have a call to action that really gets your people that find you. You can feature your posts on your profile. So if you've posted something, you can feature them, which is really important, because these are not the most recent posts. These are posts where you talk about what you've done. Then this is your activity. Then you're going to have your experience populated. Make sure that you have a company page connected to wherever you've worked, because those little gray dots don't work. And really populate it. Put in everything. If you go into the experience section, you get the option of adding media. So why not add some super cool media to make your LinkedIn profile pop? Now, the media could be about the company. It might not be about you, but you could add anything that's a dynamic media link. So here you see, you get the option, if you scroll down, add media. Now the media could be a link, or it could be an image. So populate it. Remember, this is your personal branding website. This is where you want people to really find you. So you want to put some exciting, relevant things in your experience section. You see how I've used it to really be colorful? If you're not currently working now, and it's been some time for you while you're looking for work, you can create your own company page. Creating a company page on LinkedIn doesn't mean that you work for the company, or that it doesn't have to be like a registered company. I've got a company page for my podcast. People have company pages for their books. You could create a company page for software development consulting, or IT development work, or your own business name. You could use your name as the company page. Does that make sense? And the way that you go to create a company page, I'm just going to show you, is, so there's my podcast. I've got a company page there. Is you click on for business, and then you go all the way down to the bottom, and you go create company page, and then you click on company. You name your page. It could be your initials, STK software development, STK intern. It could be anything. And then you don't have to have a website. You just populate it. You do have to have a logo. You do have to have a tagline. And then you just verify that you are the owner of that company page. Once you've created the company page, you then have to go back into your LinkedIn profile to add yourself to it. The benefit of creating a company page is that it serves as a placeholder if you're in between looking for jobs. So if you've had some work, now you've done capacity internship, now you're looking for some more work, you could create a company page because it gives you another whole section on LinkedIn that you can populate about the type of work that you've done. Does that make sense? You following me? I'm going super fast, and I'm hoping that it's completely landing. And if you have any questions, you can stop and ask. Any questions so far? Okay, let's keep going. This is level 1, which is profile optimization, and I'm just running through it. So you're going to make your experience pop with YouTube links. Did you do an intern at Absa Bank and you include something about Absa Bank, YouTube, something? Did you do, Capacity has a great website with dynamic links on it. Make your experience section pop because it's not your CV. It should look like an exciting looking website. Education, make sure that you've got all the right education here. But what you can do in your education section is there's a whole thing, and I've not actually done it, but you'll see here where it has a description. Now that's 1,000 characters. Look how big that box is. 1,000 characters. So if you've included if you've got information about the education, populate this description section with all of the keywords and the short courses, or talk about what you did. I really enjoyed my internship at Capacity, team building, and use this section to pop so that people come to your LinkedIn profile and they're reading more about you all the time. You want your LinkedIn profile to really engage people, and the only way it can engage people is if it's fully optimized with all of these spaces. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. And you can add your skills there, and you can also add media to education. But I think just use the description section, and in your own words, just say, this is what I loved at my time at Capacity. This is what I learned. This is why I studied the qualification that I did. Put some cool personal branding stuff there. Okay? Yes?
Write each and every
thing. No. So the question is it a bad thing if you use a lot of information, if you write everything on the experience section? No, it definitely is not, because they've changed LinkedIn where you actually have to click into it. So before, LinkedIn used to be that you would just read everything here. Now, people, if they want to read more about your experience, they've actually got to click into it. And let me show you what I mean by that. And I'm going to go to I was worried this might happen. I shouldn't have moved. I'm going to go back. We'll get there. So populate your experience section with everything. Make it bullet pointed, make it easy to read. You can have key function and achievements, key responsibilities. Put everything in your experience section. LinkedIn is an algorithm, keyword rich profile. So the more that you put into it and the more you populate, the better. As long as you're using the white space and it's clear and easy. Okay, we've come back here. I will, once I've finished LinkedIn profile optimization, I'm going to go and look at some of your profiles. We'll get your profiles up on the big screen. Okay, the next thing that's super key about your profile, I'm going to come back to projects, is this, recommendations. Recommendations is the trip advisor to your brand. If there's nothing else that you do today but recommendations, that is the most important thing to do on LinkedIn, because no other social media platform or CV allows you the opportunity of saying, I am a great team leader, and then getting a recommendation from somebody who can say, you are a great team leader. You do not have to be recommended by somebody you worked for reported to. You can be recommended by each other. You can be recommended by your intern. You can be recommended by me for being really focused in the training session. Ask me for a recommendation and I can recommend you. You don't have to be recommended by the people that you've just worked with, but customize your recommendation to speak to what your profile and your headline is after. So if you are saying all the good things in your headline, keyword rich, you've said the same things in your about section, in your summary, and then in your experience section, you've added this. Your recommendation basically needs to tie your whole LinkedIn profile together and say they are what they say they are. It's like the trip advisor to your brand. Okay? Do you want me to show you the recommendation function and how to work through it, or are you good with that? Okay, so what you need to do, and it means I'm going to have to, let me just see if there's anything else that I want to click through. I don't think so. Asipe. So, when you go onto someone's profile, there is this little more button. When you see somebody, the first thing you must always do is follow them. And then you get the more button where you can connect with them. You need to be connected to somebody in order to be able to recommend them. LinkedIn give you the option of adding a note. You always want to add a note. And the only note that you add, and everyone can use this, is I'd value the opportunity to connect. Regards, Licia. I'm going to copy that. Oh, I haven't spelled that correctly. What you don't want to say in this note, LinkedIn give you a lot of characters. Don't ever start a note that you send to somebody with hi. Simply say to them, when you're asking them to connect, I'd value the opportunity to connect. Or something similar, if you don't specifically want to use that sentence. But this is you saying, I'd like to meet you. You don't have to tell them why you want to meet them. You don't have to tell them anything. You don't want to say hi, because then it just comes up in that whole profile. And I'll show you what this looks like. So you say, I'd value the opportunity to connect. You send that. And then on your profile, you're going to get the connection request. So go to My Network. Click on the My Network tab. There we go. Okay, so if you just click on Show All, Did you connect with, did you accept my connection?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. So, there, all right. It's come up, and I just wanted to. So, Sife here, you want to get the right capacity. You're not connected to the right. You don't want to have gray dots. Make sure that you're connected to capacity and that your profile is populated there, which will look good. And now that we are connected to each other, I just need to reboot and go back to there. I can show you how to do the recommendation. Sorry, let me go back. So while I'm getting to Asife's profile to make sure we're connected, while the Wi-Fi is catching up, I want you all to think of, we're going to move on to the connection strategy of finding who you want to connect with. Wait, no, you wanted me to show you recommendations. Let me just show you that, but I wanted to use Asife. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Asiwe. Say it again? Asipe, sorry. This is you. Okay. We've not connected yet. I know that you've connected with me. There, it still says pending, but I can then, all right, I'm going to go to somebody else that I know that I'm connected with. Erin, I'm connected to Erin. So this is for sending somebody a recommendation. You need to be connected to them. You go onto their profile, and then you click the More button, and you can either request a recommendation or you can recommend. And then you click the Recommend button. There we go. So a good thing to do if you're wanting a recommendation from somebody is to recommend them first, because nobody's not going to accept a recommendation. So you want a recommendation from a senior manager, send them a nice recommendation. Working with John was incredible. They were a great senior manager. I appreciate, just as long as it's an authentic recommendation. They then might be triggered to respond to you, but once you've sent them a recommendation, you ask for one in return, rather than just asking straight out. But it's fine to just ask straight out for a recommendation. But recommendations are super important. So you're going to select the relationship. So I don't know Erin, and if I wanted to recommend him, you'd have to select one of these things here, but if it doesn't relate, I mean, none of these are relevant to me, I'm just going to say, I mentored Erin. But that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I say because it doesn't come up, and then the position at the time, and then I'd go in to write the recommendation. So to request would simply be, you would go there and you'd go request recommendation, and then you'd pop in. So LinkedIn give you this option here, but you see it's another huge, big 3,000 characters. 3,000 characters is an essay. You could say to the person, "Dear Erin, could you please recommend me for my work at capacity, specifically mentioning my teamwork, that I learned public speaking, that I've enjoyed development." Tell somebody what you want them to say. Because in my experience, most people don't give recommendations, not because they don't want to, but because they don't know what to say, or it's going to take them so much time to think about, what must I say about you? And there is quite a lot of you. So give them the recommendation. Say, you could say this for me, Erin, and put it in. You can all ask me. You've all got to connect to me. So I want you all now, while we're going to catch up with the thing, send me, I'd value the opportunity to connect, connection request. So go onto your LinkedIn profile, type in the search tab, Licia, I'll come up. send me a connection request, and you will all then have the option of connecting with me. Then, once you're connected with me, I'll accept all of your connections. Ask me for a recommendation, but do what I said. Don't just use the LinkedIn version of a recommendation. Customize it and say, could you please recommend me for the fact that I was a really attentive listener and I was doing everything that you said in the training, and I'm also passionate about IT and public speaking and da-da-da-da-da. Okay? Everyone keeping up with that? So what we've covered so far is profile optimization. The most important things: headline, URL, contact info, job search setting. Are you waiting for the Wi-Fi to catch up? Okay, it'll get there, don't worry. What we've covered is profile optimization, and that's making sure that everything is populated and everything looks good on your profile, and you've got recommendations. While you're all waiting for your Wi-Fi to catch up and ask me for a recommendation, I'm going to move on to the next operating area, which is who are you connected to? And it's super, super important to be connected to everybody that you have studied with, everybody that you have worked with. LinkedIn gives you up to 30,000 connections. Not 100, not 1,000, but 30,000 connections. It is quality over quantity, but the more people you are connected to, the more it expands your LinkedIn profile, because LinkedIn has this thing called first degree, second degree, and third degree connections. First degree means that you and I are connected. Second degree means that you and I are connected, but you and you are connected. That if you like something that she's posted and commented on what she's posted, I see it. Do you follow me with that? Think of other social media platforms. Instagram, you are only following the people that you're following that comes up on your feed. You don't see what other people who are following other things. So the more people you are connected to, the more it opens up more of your connections. A good starter base for your connections should be at least over 1,500. So with a brand new LinkedIn profile, that's going to take a while to get to 1,500 connections. I mean, how many of us are here in the room? You know, like 1,500 is a lot. So connect to everyone at capacity. Connect to everybody that you've studied with. Make sure that you've got all those connections. Has everyone managed to catch up and send me some recommendation requests? Who has a question? Who's stalling? Who needs help? We're all good. Are you working on your phone on LinkedIn? Yes. You can't log into it on the thing. Oh, okay, that's great. That's fantastic. At least you're on your phone. So you click on the More button, yeah?
Is it possible to request for recommendation?
Yes. Is it possible to, sorry?
To send a request for recommendation if you are not connected?
No, you must be connected in order to ask for a recommendation. That's why make your connections, make it a focus to grow your connections to 1,500. That's a good start. I mean, if you're at 200, you'll be at 700 by next week when I show you the strategies. But you've got to be connected to somebody. So connect with everyone at capacity, and all of you can be giving each other recommendations. Do it because it's important, and make this a focus. Every time you go into a new role, every time you do a new training, you ask for a recommendation and you give recommendations. You could never have too many recommendations. You can choose the ones that you make are visible. Are you battling with the Wi-Fi? So if I go onto my recommendation part at the bottom of my profile here, you'll see you all have this option. Show all pending. I'm going to do that. So you can click into the pencil of the recommendations, and it gives you the opportunity to have oh, why is it so slow? Okay, I'm going to accept these. Usunati, where are you? This is fantastic, but don't say hi, Licia. Don't say hi. And the reason why is because most spam messages on LinkedIn start with hi. I know it's a normal greeting and you want to do it, but don't say hi. Just say, I'd value the opportunity to connect. Okay? But that's fantastic. Well done for doing that. Going to accept. I'm going to accept. I'd value the opportunity to connect. Fantastic. You see what it looks like in that messaging. If you go into making more of that message, I'm not going to mark that as inappropriate. You want to make this easy for people to say yes to you. And you just want this one line to come up. And you just want to make that simple and easy. Mkele, your privacy settings are not showing your photograph. Where's Mkele? Put your hand up. Okay, so you've got to go into privacy settings and make sure that you're visible, and you do that here. Settings and privacy. Everybody can do this. Just click on settings and privacy. Aye. And then you want to check your visibility when it comes up. While we're waiting for that, in the meanwhile, we're going to go to finding people that you want to know. Think of who do you want to connect with? What title of person? What job title or company? You can connect with people on LinkedIn by knowing their name. So you can search for somebody by name. You can search for someone by job title. IT development manager, software development manager, or you can search for someone by a term. Artificial intelligence. So rather, I want you all to think of what person do you want to connect with? What is their job title? And don't do the recruiter. I want you to do somebody who's 2 or 3 years ahead of you in your current career path. Does that make sense? So think of that search term. And hopefully we'll get there. Okay, I'm going to just close that thing. So we've covered recommendations. Key thing. Now you're going to go into the search term and you're going to search for a person, a name. I did a search for Workato. And what came up were most of Workato candidates. But what happens is you put in the keywords and then LinkedIn brings up everything on LinkedIn. People, posts, jobs, companies, schools. It's worth going wide, but you want to just look for people. So you're going to put in your search term, and now you're going to click on the people toggle. And you're just going to look for people. Now this is everybody. This is 100 pages of people that have that search term in it. Is everyone on this page, on the searching? Everyone here, okay? Are you looking for your privacy and settings to change your visibility? Profile, edit your public profile. Yeah, profile viewing options. Did you go there? Name and headline, so click in there. And when that opens, you want to make sure that you're visible, the most visible. There'll be 3 different options, and the one will be public visibility. Maybe close some of the extra tabs. I don't know if that does help with things. Okay, So you're going to find this is the growing your circles of influence, connecting with the people that you don't know, simply using the search term. So I've used the example of Workato. You click on people and then it brings up everybody. Now you're going to go by locations. And you're going to type in what is your location. For this experiment, we're going to do South Africa, but what if I wanted to find somebody who was somewhere else? I'm going to put in United States and I click show results. It's a huge search group, so we want to filter it down by clicking on the all filters to find more people that are specific to what we're looking at. So I'm going to click on the all filters. I've still got Workato. I've got the United States. I could look for people at a current company, but I don't know who they are, so I don't know what company I'm looking for. I could look for people with a particular school. Now that way, you can actually find the South Africans. If you just type in major South African universities and technikons, you can then filter by the South Africans, not the business school, but the actual university. So if you type in as many as you possibly can, I'm also going to put UNISA. You just have to start typing the words and then it comes up. I don't want the business school, I want the university. What else? UKZN. The reason why I don't want the business school is a lot of foreigners study at business schools, but if you have put in filter by the South African universities and technikons, and I should be able to put capacity. ITT, is it double C? I can't put it in yet, but I've put in a couple of South African universities and I'm going to click show results. I wonder if anyone's going to come up. There we go. These are South Africans in the United States who have the platform or the package Workato. This, to me, is very exciting for all of you because what you can then do, now I'm not connected to any of these people. Some of them, they're in my 3rd degree, so it means that I've got to message them. But what you can do immediately here, the ones that you can connect with, let's click on his profile and check that he is a South African. You can't tell, but there we go, University of Cape Town. He studied at the University of Cape Town. We don't know for sure that he's actually a South African national, but if he studied at the university, he has an association with South Africa. So the likelihood of him being happy to connect with me because he sees that I'm South African is pretty high. Wouldn't you agree? And then you're just going to paste that sentence, I'd value the opportunity to connect, and you send it. Now, for somebody that's in the 3rd degree, if we toggle over their name and go open in a new link, you then are able to come up to their profile. It's a bit of a workaround. There is the More button. You click the More button, then you click Connect, add a note, and paste. When it comes up, I'm going to paste my note to connect to Victoria. When that comes up. So you're now able to connect with South Africans who've studied here. They're South Africans, but they've got something similar skill, a similar something. It's showing you different options. You want your name and headline. So then that's what you look like. Was that what? It was that? Okay. I don't know why it didn't come up for me. Maybe it was the network, yeah. So you want to make sure that you're completely visible. That's fantastic. So I'm going to come around to check how your searches are going and who you're finding. And you're going to toggle by the... Okay, so if you're looking in South Africa, that's great. So you want to go, because it's a big search, you want to go to all filters, and you can click any job title, and you can click show results. Yeah. No results. Okay, so then go out. So just tab back there. And then you want to go back into all filters. South Africa, and let's go down. Past company, no, you don't want school. Go down to industry, and obviously they're all going to be the right industry. Go down to where it says keywords title. There, in title, put recruitment. No, I said don't find recruitment. Put, oh, let's try it. Put recruitment. And then you're going to look for the recruiters or the HR people. Just put recruitment and then go show results. No results. Okay, all right. So maybe we need to broaden it and take off worker toe. The filter is too small. Keep everything else, South African people, but in the search term, go up to worker toe, delete that and put software development or something that's a little bit broader. Software development, click, just hit enter, yep. And now the search term would have stayed, it would still be South Africa and it'd still be people. Now you can go all filters, now you can go hiring. See, if you go up here, actively hiring, any job title, click that. And then go show results. There we go. Now, one thing about this strategy of connecting with people on the free version is you only have 5 connection requests to send. That is okay. You can use those 5. It gets refreshed each month. You can still follow and find more people, but the reaching out to them, you would only have 5. So there we go. I've sent the I'd value the opportunity to connect to Victoria and to James from the thing, and sometimes it almost happens immediately. Oh, well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. So you are all there. Okay, so that we're going to quickly go through the communication strategy. We started a bit late and it's been a little bit slow, but we need to get into the communication strategy. Anyone got any questions about using the search filters? LinkedIn, love it when you use the search filters. You're telling LinkedIn you're excited about finding interesting people, and it gets excited. You're waking up this algorithm beast of LinkedIn, which is saying, I know what to do and get granular in the search filters. Most people don't do this. Did you have a question? Are you okay? Okay, cool. So use the search filters to find the people that you want to look for. Use the search filters to find people based on job title, based on term, artificial intelligence. That's a really good one. For all of you who studied, well, you're all in the AI field, just put artificial intelligence in South Africa and see what comes up. But then find the South Africans abroad. One thing that's happening right now with the amazing kind of geopolitical shockers that are playing out in the world is that South Africans really want to uplift other South Africans. So if you find a South African using the major universities in the United States and you connect with them and you simply say, I'd value the opportunity to connect, they're now going to accept your connection request. So the next thing is that you're going to send them a message. So you come to the My Network section, and then when you click on connections, here is all your wonderful I'd value. So it's an easy accept. Easily I'm going to say connect with you, because you don't say, hi Lisa, and it doesn't go into this whole long message. It's a simple one sentence. I'm easily going to want to say yes to accept that. But if you click on the Connections tab on the left, these are all the people that you've most recently connected with, that you found. So say these are the South Africans who are in the United States. You can then, you're connected with them and you can message them. You might have a limitation to connect with new people on the free package of LinkedIn, but once you're connected to somebody, you can message as many of your connections. So that's why it's important to grow your connections to 1,500. Now, I can send a photograph, I can attach a document, I can send an emoji, and in the app, on the phone app, I can actually send a voice message. So the next part of this strategy is that you literally want to say, anybody that you send a connection request, you're going to start off by saying, thank you for the connection. Thank you for the connection, but not, hi Lisa. You're just going to say, thank you for the connection, because you want to send this to a couple more people. Thank you for the connection, and then you're going to tell them why you connected with them, and you're going to end off with the words, I look forward to future contact, and you're going to include your cell phone number, your name, and your cell phone number. Because when I get that message from you, you've asked to connect to me, you found me, I'm a South African with Workato, and I'm in the United States. You've sent me a connection request. This comes up on my phone, because I'm checking LinkedIn on my phone. And if I, depending on which phone, if I put my thumb over that message on the LinkedIn app on my phone, I can phone you. So suddenly this South African that's in the United States who's a software developer who works with Workato that you have connected with is immediately connected with you, and it's not about a job, it's not about a CV, it's about growing your connections. And when you're connected to that person, it unlocks all your second degree connections, which means that you can be connected to people who are working in amazing spaces and places that can lead to opportunities for you here. Do you see how that works? It's a little bit of strategic thinking, because I'm in Cape Town, Lisa. I want a job now. I want to connect to the hiring manager right here. But if I connect with a South African who's working for a big software development company that has offices in Cape Town, and I'm connected to them, and the hiring manager sees that I'm connected to them, it makes me more appealing. Or I can say to that person, thank you for the connection. I love seeing South Africans doing amazing things around the world. I look forward to future contact, and you leave your cell phone number. So that person is invited to connect with you and phone you. They might say, hey, that's amazing. I've been here for 5 years. What are you doing? I see. They're going to see that you're open for work. You don't have to tell them I'm looking for a job. They're going to see it. Does that make sense? Are you following me? Okay, cool. So then you send the message here. So I'm just going to type it in here. The first one would be, are you sending me the message? I'm Kelly. Are you saying thank you for the connection? Okay, so everybody that I've connected to, and I'm going to go, now you're going to send me a message because I've connected to all of you. I want you to say, thank you for the connection. I want you then to tell me why you connected with me. Pretend I'm the person that's in the States. And then you're going to end off with your name and your cell phone number. And by doing that, my friends, I'm going to send you resources and documents right there on the DMs. Kaylee Bill. Hi, Nomtha. Thanks. I hope you're doing well. I know you're currently open to work. My company is always on the lookout for great talent, so please feel free to check out our website and see if anything resonates with you. If it does, I'd be happy to pass your CV onto our hiring team. Fantastic. So then you're going to say to her, thank you so much, Kaylee. Did you just do this right now? So this is amazing. Nomtha connected with a recruiter, and the recruiter responded immediately and replied to her. So it's super, super cool. She's going to say, thank you, Kaylee. I am looking for work. And I will be sure to check out your website. Oops. Okay, so one thing I'm going to show in the messaging section, don't worry, you can keep typing, Nomtha, is make sure on here, these 3 little buttons, have this to click to send. 3 little buttons in the messaging. Make sure it's click send. If it's press enter to send, every time you enter to another sentence, it's going to send, and you're going to have a whole bunch of different messages and not one. So click send there. I'm going to accept you all, so you've all got the chance to send me your beautiful messages. And there we go. So you're going to now type, you've clicked enter to send, made sure it's click send there, and you're going to type in the first line, thank you for the connection. Put some nice white space. Enter to the second line. I'm excited to meet South Africans around the world. Or you can practice. You can send a whole bunch of options to me about what you would say to a South African that you connect with in the United States. And then you're going to end off with, I look forward to future contact. Regards. Your name, cell phone number, and that's it. Are you sending some cool messages? Yeah. Thank you for the connection. And I'm going to say this. I want you to do this. I want you to put some. Did you click enter? No. Click send. Okay, perfect. So now you're going to use some white space. So it looks like it's a little bit spaced out. You don't have to put your email address, but you're definitely going to say regards and your name and your cell phone number. But put some nice white space in between your message so it's not all jammed up. So it's easy for me to read and I can look at it. Thank you for the connection. I want you to put some... Oh. Why are we doing this? We want that to go down there. Some space. Put some nice white space in between. Not too much. Sorry, I've done double space there. There we go. And you're going to send me your cell phone number. Okay, you're also going to put some nice white space there. That is cool. Regards thing. And you're going to put the +27. Because if I'm in the States, I want to know, how do I phone you internationally? +27. You're going to send me a message? Oh, is it still pending? Okay. Okay, well done. Leto is off the starting mark. There, she's done it. Thank you for the connection. I'm excited to meet South Africans around the world and look forward to future contact with you. Regards, Leto. Everything about that message is perfect and would make me want to respond because I'm a South African. I'm doing some big stuff in different countries. You can look for the South Africans that are in software development in Dubai, in London, in New York. You can go into the filters and go completely crazy. You want to come across in the message, though, as somebody who is going to support them on LinkedIn. You also want to come across in the messages as somebody who, yes, they know you're looking for work because you've got the open to work badge. You don't have to tell them. You want to come across as somebody who's excited to meet South Africans. You want to position yourself as somebody who's ready to grow and learn. This messaging system is that classic elevator pitch. The elevator pitch is the terminology that's used for people when they say, what if you get into the elevator and Richard Branson is in the elevator and you recognize him? Or maybe it's not Richard Branson, maybe it's Stephen Bartlett, maybe it's not, like, who would you want to get into an elevator with that you would go, oh my goodness? You're not going to say to that person, give me a job, here's my CV, you're going to say, it's really amazing to meet you, Stephen. I love Diary of a CEO. Or I listen to Diary of a CEO all the time. Or whatever. This is what this messaging system is. It is so key to be cool, to be tempered, and to position yourself. That person then wants to help you. So they're going to respond and they're going to say, Leletu, I am so excited that you reached out to me. You've recently qualified. We're running a project. We're doing this. Can we hire you? I see you're offering services for this. You could, while you're looking for your job that you want to build your career here in Cape Town, do some work for that South African online for a couple of hours, doing some dev on the side and earning dollar money. Does that excite you? Because it really gets me excited about the potential right here in this room for you on LinkedIn. And all it takes is for you to use that search term and find somebody, and then use the filters to find the South Africans. And you can do it in South Africa, and you can find the recruiters, and you can find the people. But I want you to grow your connections with South Africans around the world. If you are connected to a developer in the United States, in Dubai, in the United Kingdom, in Africa, in Singapore, suddenly it unlocks the opportunity of your second degree connections to grow with those ecosystems. Yeah? And you've got recommendations on your profile because you're going to be spending time doing that. So they're going to see that you are who you say you are. They're going to see that you are somebody who's spent time growing their profile. There's no limit to who you can connect to. 5 people each month on the free for version. But the more you're connected, the more it's easier to connect with other people, and people will want to connect with you. Okay? Does that make sense? Does everyone have that? Any questions? I know it can feel overwhelming at first. I know LinkedIn can feel like this whole big what's going on, but just focus on the things that count. This strategy moves the needle forward for you. You have a well-populated profile with recommendations, and you use the search tab. Do that for the next week. And in a week's time, you are going to be connected to people that you would never have the opportunity to meet face to face, and it could open up huge opportunities. Now, we're going to talk about the last operating area, which is, what are you saying? Your communication strategy. Now, all of you are looking for work. So we're going to talk about posting your own content, then it's commenting, and then it's in the DMs. We've done a little bit of the DM strategy now, but let's talk about posting your own content. Primarily on LinkedIn, you want to show up as the person that you will show up as if you were to walk into the role. So it's not Instagram, it's not Twitter, politics, religion, sex, drugs, rock and roll, all of that you do not mention. You don't even like someone's post. You stay away from all of that, because everybody can see your activity on LinkedIn, whether you've liked a post or especially if you've commented on a post. So if I go to Mtunzele and I go down onto his profile, I can click on all activity. I can see what he's posted, what he's commented on, and I can see what he has reacted to. And great, it's something that's relevant to his professional role. But there's a lot of horrific things happening in the world right now. And the other day, I had a client who happens to work for a very Jewish company, and my client was liking a lot of Muslim, Free Palestine, Support Gaza content on LinkedIn. Somebody in the company noticed and confronted them. Does it have anything to do with them? No. Your politics are your politics. But it did create a little bit of a situation at work. So everybody can see what you do on LinkedIn. You are going to be tunneled visioned, and the only thing you are going to do on LinkedIn is like and comment and talk about the job that you want. You're only going to talk about software development. You're only going to talk about upskilling and artificial intelligence, and everything else you can go and do on Twitter or Instagram where nobody can see what it is that you're doing, or you're going to use a Finsta. What is it called? A Finsta profile. You're going to do it so nobody can see what you're doing. Okay? So the first post that I want you all to create is a photograph of yourself. Take a selfie and you're going to tell us what you've studied and what kind of positions you're looking for. So you are going to create a post on your profile that says, my name is Zeli. Who am I looking at? It's you. No, I'm just, when I'm presenting, my brain doesn't work well with taking on new information when it's giving out information. So I'm actually very good with names, but when I'm trying to remember the information, I can't take in anything new. So I just get this weird thing that happens in my brain. What you are going to do, so you're going to take a picture of yourself, you can take a selfie. We've all got our phones here now. Take out your phone. We're going to take a selfie and we're going to create a post. And I'm going to create a post at the same time with all of you. Take a picture of yourself and then you're going to upload it to, okay, that might be a little bit of get the photograph onto LinkedIn. But I want you, so for those of you, you're on your phone, so we can do it with you. Take a picture, but do it now. Just all take a picture and then we're going to talk about what the post is. But you are going to say, this is who I am. I've just completed this training. This is the type of work that I'm looking for. Hey, LinkedIn, nice to meet you. Or open to work, hashtag open to work, looking for opportunities, nice to meet you. I'm going to be growing my profiles and connecting with more South Africans around the world. Give us a little bit of a story on this post, but give us something to engage with, okay? I'm definitely going to take a selfie, and I'm going to share this post because I said I would anyway. I can't get everybody in. If I stand here, I can. So can you turn around and look really excited and like it's the best training that you've ever been in? Cool. All right, and I'll do one from this direction to get everyone there. Super big smile. Let me go a little bit further here. Super big smiles. I don't want someone's back of their head. Smile. No. Okay, super big smiles. Look excited. All right. I'm going to post that and I will share that. So the important thing about why you're going to create this post is because you want people to connect with you. And you can say a whole bunch of stuff. I'm based in Khayelitsha. I've been studying at Capacity. It's taken me, Cape Town winter weather isn't great. Or just share something about you. Share something important about you. Share something about why you studied what you did. The one thing about posting content on LinkedIn, the wrong thing about posting content on LinkedIn is not posting anything. Nobody can do anything wrong by creating a post. As long as it's not political, as long as it's not religious, as long as it's not something that's going to create polarity, simply by posting, there is no right or wrong. I'm not going to tell you you must say this or you mustn't say this or you must put white space between them. None of that matters. What matters is that you share a post on LinkedIn and that you share something about who you are. You can share a photograph of you every single week on LinkedIn. Not every day, every week. Take a selfie, coming into work. Here I am, transfer thing. I met this cool person. Let people on LinkedIn follow your journey. There was a guy who shared a picture of himself around pre-COVID. He was really nervous. He was going for an interview at Investec. First job, first interview, nervous as anything. He was sweating, whatever, in Johannesburg. He took a selfie of himself outside Investec before the interview, got there like an hour beforehand. He took a picture and he shared it on LinkedIn saying, he wasn't connected to a lot of people. He tagged Investec in the post. I'm about to go for an interview. I've prepared. I'm really excited. I've done financial data analysis. I hope this goes well. Wish me well, LinkedIn fam. Something very casual. It wasn't well thought through. It was just a picture thing. He went into the interview, During the course of the interview, everybody on LinkedIn saw this. Everybody was excited for him. People started commenting. People started going, well done, I hope you get the job. While he was sitting in the Investec bank for the interview, at the end of the interview, somebody in Investec saw this and was like, hey, this guy must be here. Went and found him, met him. I think it was somebody in the marketing department, met him and said, Can we talk a little bit more about get to know you? Of course, he got the job. Like, it wasn't seamless just because he posted on LinkedIn, but that visibility boosted his opportunities, because visibility creates opportunities. And what people in South Africa want to do is they want to support you. Yes, the recruiter might not respond to your job application. Yes, you might be sending 20 today and you don't get any responses. But when you post on LinkedIn, if you're connected to 1,500 people, the right people, and you've got some South Africans around the world, and you say, this is my journey, this is what I'm doing, wish me luck, and it's a warm, authentic post, people want to support you. Everyone you're connected to is going to want to support you. And that visibility will create opportunities. Who is like so aligned that they can't wait to take this picture and share a post? And who is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is what I've actually signed up for and I've got to be visible on LinkedIn. If you're not visible on LinkedIn, nobody can find you. It's the most exciting thing. You're going to take a picture of yourself and we're going to do it. So creating your own content is huge and it's important, but it's not the thing that I want you to be 100% focused on, because it takes time and effort. But all of you can share one photo, just one post that talks about what you're doing, and everybody can see that. You can feature that post on your profile. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. This is what I've studied. This is why I'm excited to move into software development. I'm learning about artificial intelligence, and you can feature that post on your profile. But the most important thing that you're going to do is that you are going to comment on other people's posts. Now, there is this guy who's super cool. So I created this post on Tuesday asking my connections for help for the people, the 13 Workato people, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all the people that Sisulu couldn't get the contract for, but it includes all of you guys as well. And I shared a post talking about please help. And then here, this guy, Craig Davis. I want you all to go to his profile. Just type in Craig Davis. He's an American, he's based in the States, and he's actually looking for a job, looking for a new customer success associate role, but he has become known as the comment king on LinkedIn. You're going to look at his profile. Don't connect with him, just look at his profile. By looking at his profile, he is going to send you a message and he will connect with you. Craig Davies. Does he come up? Follow this man and what he does. He comments on everybody's profiles. Look how many people he's connected to. And he just is the most incredible. He's just elevated commenting and taken it to a next level in terms of, if you go onto his profile and you click comments, and he leaves good long form comments. Look at this. He's done like a whole story here on this guy who's a big LinkedIn influencer. That is what commenting, that's the king of commenting. So that's tagging the post, tagging the author, putting some white space in your comments, leaving something intelligent, something interesting. This is another huge LinkedIn influencer, and he goes and does the same thing. Tags the author, PS, thank you. Put some white space. He's actually summarizing these people's posts and giving them bullet form. Now he's responding to comments on his own post there. But then the cool thing was that my post that I shared, that I was going to be doing this training somewhere over here, he came over and left this really cool comment. Going to comment to support your free visibility workshop this Thursday. P.S. Thank you for the post, Licia. Important to tag the author in the post so that it brings their attention to it. And I said, thank you, King, because he's like the king of comments. Guess where 13 eager devs will be directed to on the course? Straight to your really good looking commenting profile. So he's going to know why all these South Africans are looking at his profile that are open to work. He's going to know it's you, and he's going to respond. So I just want the best way of me teaching you about how to comment on other people's posts is from Craig. So when you're using the search term and you're finding somebody in South Africa, a recruiter, or somebody in a company that you want to work for, go and look at what are they sharing, what content are they sharing, and comment on their posts. You can comment 1,000 times a day, and it's free on LinkedIn. You can only connect with 5 people each month that you do not know, that are not part of your first degree, second degree connections, but you can leave a lot of comments. So, like the analogy that I used with the guy that shared the photograph outside Investec, what is one company that you would really enjoy to be employed by? Give me a name. ABSA, I mean a bank. Can't hear? Say louder. Amazulu. Amazon. Okay, I was going to like, what, the football name? Amazon. Okay. Amazon. So you're going to find people who work at Amazon in South Africa. You're going to find the South Africans who work at Amazon in the United States. You are going to be all over Amazon like nothing on LinkedIn. You are going to connect with as many people as you can on Amazon, and you are going to leave comments on their posts. Because a comment on somebody's post on LinkedIn is the real world equivalent of you standing in the auditorium, listening to someone speaking from the stage, and you put your hand up with a question, and they give you the mic. And you stand up and you take the mic and you go, thank you, Amazon, for what you've said. I've really enjoyed listening to this. I have a question about the new software or da-da-da-da-da. And everybody in the auditorium looks around and looks at you. It's massive visibility by commenting on the right people's post. Follow Craig Davis to see how you can set out your post, tag the author, PS, thank you for sharing. You can say that to all the recruiters at Amazon, and they will be like, who is this amazing young person? You're coming up visibility. And then you apply for a role and they connect the name or the thing, or they look at your profile because they see that you're open for work because it says I'm open for work. Commenting is the biggest thing and the most important thing. But don't please just comment without having that one post of a photograph of you telling everybody what you're looking for. Because when you go and comment on all the people at Amazon's posts, the South Africans at Amazon in the States, the South Africans at Amazon in South Africa, and they come and look at your profile, they're going to go down and look at your most recent post. And if your post with a photograph of you and what you're looking for and what you love and what type of work you're looking for is featured on your profile, you click the feature button so it's there on your profile, because you're going to be, there might be other posts, they're going to see this about you. They don't have to read a CV. They've got a LinkedIn profile. And at the bottom of the LinkedIn profile, there's recommendations that says what you want from other people, that affirms who you are and what you can do. Do you see how that works? It's amazing. I can guarantee that the thing that the frustration of applying for roles on LinkedIn and nobody's thing, if you do this strategy, finding people, commenting, recommendations, so it's profile optimization. The most important thing is recommendations. You're going to get everything else looking good. You're connected to me. Just do what I've done on my profile. Who are you connected to is finding the right people to connect and using the filters to find South Africans around the world. That's the most important thing. In the DMs, I'd value the opportunity to connect. Thanks for connection, and you give them that nice message over and over and over again. And then the communication strategy, one post of you and what you're looking like. You can update it, you can do a few more, but minimum one post of you with your face. This is what I'm looking for, and you feature that on your profile, and then comment, comment, comment. Amazon's a great company. What's another good company? What's another good company? It's going to take you a week of doing all of this just for Amazon alone, even if you're on LinkedIn all the time. I don't teach that you've got to be on LinkedIn for the whole day, because you're going to have to go for interviews. You've got to go and do other things. But when you are on LinkedIn, you're not going to be scrolling the feed at all. You're going to be search filter, finding people, asking for recommendations, and commenting. Use LinkedIn strategically, and it will then start boosting your visibility. And then the DMs, the third way of communicating on LinkedIn, is in the messaging, which I've already taught you with that strategy of finding somebody. You want to appear to be cool, calm, and collected. Put space between your message. You don't need to say to them, I'm looking for a job. They know that. You've got the open to work banner. Talk to them about something else. This is the elevator pitch. You've stepped into the elevator with somebody who really impresses you. You do not need to say to them, I want a job at your company, because they're going to go, I'm sorry, we're not hiring. And they're going to step out the elevator, and you've lost that moment. The DM, the messaging, is like the elevator pitch. Ask them something. Do you find that worker toe, or ask them something that's skills-based. I've recently figured out that if I do this, this is going to happen. Do you find that? Engage, start a conversation. In that elevator, with the person that stands in, can I have a job? Sorry, we're not hiring. They leave the elevator. Lost, gone. You say to them, I'm really interested about the work that you're doing, because I'm studying this and I found this and da-da-da, and do you find, engage in conversation with them. The door's open, the person's holding the door, and he's talking to you and interested in you. You walk out the elevator together and you're talking. That's what you can get on LinkedIn in the messaging system. You want to draw them into knowing more about you and finding out more about you. And you can't do anything wrong with this. You just need to know that the strategy is to have conversations with people in the messages. They're going to look at your profile. They're going to say, you do not say I'm looking for work. They know you're open for work. They can see it on your profile. And with your recommendations and your post that says, my name is, and I'm looking for, and you're sharing content about your journey, you don't have to lose the opportunity of the DMs to say something that they already know about you. Does that make sense? I'm so glad, and I'm so excited to watch where this training is going to take you all, because I can guarantee, if you do it, I know the strategies work. I teach this all the time. Whether you work the strategy, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to work the strategy. I don't know if you're going to do the post. I don't know if you're going to do the recommendation. I don't know if you're going to search who do you want to find and filter by the South Africans. I don't know that. But I do know that if you do it, it will work. And I know that the way it will work is give you massive visibility. And that's what you deserve to have. Done. LinkedIn, sorted, optimized. You're going to be expanding your possibilities to the absolute world. I've covered what I came to teach you and train you. We've got a little bit of extra time. Does anyone have any particular question?
I just want to know, how do you find, how do you spot a fake job post on LinkedIn?
A fake job post?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing about LinkedIn and any platform is that people will post, look, they have to pay to post that fake post. So it's not free to post a job on LinkedIn. So if it's fake, the question is, how do you know it's fake? How can you spot that it's fake? If they ask you for money, if they ask you for your ID, if they ask you for personal information, if they, like anything that if it doesn't go into another applicant tracking system of uploading a CV, and it doesn't, if something about it looks suspicious. I don't know how many fake jobs are posted on LinkedIn, because the person has to pay for it, but I do know that it does happen. And in the software development industry, could it happen more? Sure, you've got to have your wits about you, but you're never, ever, ever in the job seeking process ever going to pay anyone to help you find a job, unless it's a coach or a strategist. But if you're applying for a role and somebody says, you need to give me 300 Rand for us to send the CV, no. So, I mean, look at the company that's posted the job, look at the, let's go to that job section and have a look and see. Look at the information about it. So this is where LinkedIn have given me top picks, because remember, I optimized my profile with lecturer, guest speaker, and so forth. So these are the job searches that I have. I've got career coach on, and then there's a whole bunch of different things. Oh, look, YouTube and podcast marketing manager. Saku, that's the, you could have applied for that job if you had a LinkedIn profile.
I do.
Let's go into the job section and have a look. So the key thing that you want to see when you're in this section of the jobs, and you'll notice that my training to you didn't cover any of this. I didn't even go into the job section on LinkedIn, and it's a training specifically for visibility for job seekers, because I think it's, I hope that now you've spent this time with me, you see the power of everything else that LinkedIn is. So, okay, here's red and yellow. I would look at, is this an actual company that's posted this thing? I would then go down and see who are the people that are working here, who is the person that's posted the role, what is the information that they say. At the bottom, it gives you the opportunity to learn more about the company. So I'd click on the company page. Is this actually a verified company? So you can check from those things. All of these things, hiring trends and information and everything you get from the premium account. One thing I want to say about the premium account is that it's definitely not worth it unless you are optimizing and doing all of the things that I've taught you. Premium is not worth it. You want your LinkedIn profile to be fully optimized, then it's worth paying them. But it doesn't have to be, you don't have to pay for them until it's fully optimized. But I mean, this job searching section is really great because you can toggle between hybrid, remote, small business. I mean, they give you, I'm not sure if you get that. Do you get that on your profile? Do you get those? I'm not sure if you do or if that's just the premium. But yeah, I think that's a great question. How do you look for something that's fake? You've just got to keep your wits about you and look at everything about who's posting the role and the information about it. Craig's awake. He's supported my comment. So you might be finding that you will be getting some comments. So I'll show you. Yeah, something else about the communication, which is sharing your own content we didn't cover, which is interesting, is LinkedIn, when you start a post, I'll just take that away. LinkedIn give you the option of writing an article. Oh, no, I've gone to the wrong place. So if you write an article on LinkedIn, if you click write article, it opens up this whole big publishing space, which is really interesting. You can upload a photograph, you can add a title, you can put a picture, you can embed a link, you can put a URL. There's a whole bunch of dynamic things that you can add on the article, and the articles are Google referenced. So if you come down to someone's profile, they have articles and they have newsletters as different options. So here I've written a bunch of articles. There's some articles that I've written. And then I've also got a newsletter that I've got. You all would have been asked to subscribe to that newsletter simply by following me, because that's an automated thing that LinkedIn offer. A newsletter just means it's a collection of lots of different articles. An article is just a standalone long form post. But articles are referenced by Google search. And it's a really easy way to publish something, which is sort of like really leveling up, writing an article on LinkedIn. An article on LinkedIn doesn't have to be some beautiful thing. It can have an embedded YouTube. It can have pictures. It can have a workaround of something that you've created or something that you've done. But articles are a really interesting thing, but that might be for advanced LinkedIn level training session after you've all landed your jobs with the companies that you want to land with. I think I'm done. I'm available for some questions. If anybody has any questions, I can show you anything further, but it's gone very quiet, so I think it's lunchtime. And I'm happy to share or to finish up with anything in particular.